Hey VC, it's Tim. So I got another video, and in this video, I'm gonna talk about music suggestions for winter. Where I live, it's very cold, and so the thing is it's not good to like listen to the blues or stuff that's like depressing that'll make you feel bad because it's like the weather is already bad enough outside and it gets dark at like 4:30 here. So what I usually stick to is to try to listen to like warmer music or music that makes me think of like a warmer climate. So first, I'm starting off with the Upsetters with Super Ape, and this album has Lee Scratch Perry on it, and this is a dub album. So yeah, it's really good. I definitely suggest it to anyone that's into reggae that doesn't know about this. This is a reissue. This album came out in 1976. And yeah, it's a 2013 Vinyl Me Please reissue. So, anyways, the label on that, it's got this has a transparent green record. So, yeah, there's that. Next up, I have Harami Husono. This album came out in 1978, and this was a Japanese guy. I believe, actually, he is still alive, yeah. Anyways, this album he wrote after a trip to India, and he also was introduced to the music of Kraftwerk during this time. And what's interesting about this guy is just he does a lot of experimentation with synthesizers and electronic music, and it's really good. This album's very ambient. This is all like instrumental electronic music. And yeah, there's a gatefold here. It shows him and tells a story about him. A lot of this was reissued on Light in the Attic in 2018. And I think they're getting harder to find. I was lucky to get this at a record fair for only $20, so I had to bundle it. I bundled it with that first album I got, but yeah, I checked this out. And that has a blue label, and the nice thing about that's more kind of like afternoon music, but it's kind of like neutral. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. It's kind of like just in the middle, but I definitely sample that online if you haven't heard of it. Alright, next up is this is Alton Ellis, Greatest Hits, Best of Alton Ellis. This is rock steady and reggae. And it's funny, if you look at the cover, you wouldn't exactly think this is a rock steady album, but yeah, this is definitely something that makes you feel really warm. And this is on the Coxsone label, which was a Jamaican label. A lot of stuff was made in Studio One. But yeah, if you can see on the, yeah. So yeah, there's that. Up next, the Beach Boys, Summer Days and Summer Nights. This album came out in 1965. This is the album before Pet Sounds. And if you listen to this album, you can definitely see, like, it does make sense how they'd make Pet Sounds after this. It's not super radical, but it is different than this, but there is a lot of, like, kind of, like, weird parts with, like, just like carnival narrative and just talking stuff over the music, like stuff that isn't exactly musical that they mix in with the music on this. But yeah, Then this one's in mono too. So next is Martin Denny Exotica, and this was during the Exotica phase. This album came out in 1957, and this is about the beginning of the Exotica, where what Martin Denny was doing is he was living in Hawaii, and they were playing like a combination of like jazz and lounge music, and they started to mix Hawaiian instruments and other exotic instrumentation into their mix, and it has it has a more kind of like a jazz lounge sound to it. It's pretty good. It's definitely warm. So, and now what we have on the turntable is João Gilberto, and I probably said that wrong because I'm really not good at Portuguese. Anyways, this is Bossa Nova, and this is basically an American repackaging of his first album, and I don't know. This is just this music is so awesome to me. I think this is like some of the greatest, like easy listening, but still like not cheesy, and yeah, it's kind of like bohemian, but I'm really into this kind of music right now, and the problem is it's hard to find in Wisconsin. There's not a lot of it around, and it's really expensive online, but I've been getting this when I can. And then, so the last album is later period, or probably second period Bossa Nova. This is Luis Melodia. I'm probably saying that wrong. This album came out in 1976. And this has a Bossa Nova sound like what's playing now, but there's more kind of funk and jazz elements mixed in. And there's 2 tracks on here that have like a real blues. They're basically a blues track. And this came out in 1976, but it has, those 2 tracks have like a real 80s kind of blues sound, and I'm just not a big fan of the 80s blues right now. And I feel if those 2 tracks weren't on here, this would be a perfect album. But yeah, again, this is a reissue on, I believe, Far Out. Anyways, yeah. So there's my music suggestions for winter. Yeah. Let me know yours, alright? Take care.